Brenda used to walk these streets with pride. Her husband Chris, a patriot by her side. But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too, but Brenda stood tall like the sky so blue. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. In the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. Oh, in the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light.
I was just trying to send out some invites. What's going on with y'all? Hello, it's Florida Mom. Goodness gracious, what have you been up to? I haven't been able to keep up with anybody's messages, including yours. So sorry if I hadn't responded. I'm trying to, boy, I've knocked out. I fell asleep, boy. I've just, an hour before the show, I'm like, damn, I fell asleep, boy. This way I won't be tired. Like I said, the last time I was on here, I was about ready to fall asleep. That's why I had to leave out, and Danielle finished up my show last time. But that was about 2 hours long. I want to see if I can, I know that Florida Mom. Just trying to see if I could send out to some people on this messenger, what plants. And I haven't seen her for a while. And who else? That one dude, I don't know how to spell his name. He had some case out in, can't even remember. Oh, there it is. I'm going to send him. He's got a little baby girl. They tried to take her little baby girl right out of the hospital. Oh, Mud Plants, you're already there. Oh, geez. I'm trying to think of who else I need to get Classic Mom up in here. Let's see if I can send her an invite. Who else? Who am I forgetting? I know. Just as I'm sending you guys messages, you're coming on. Anyways, yeah, well, I had to work yesterday, so that's why I wasn't here, but I got today and tomorrow off. So that's exciting. Um, yeah, and it's going pretty well. I mean, it's not as much money as I believe I should be getting, but I mean, it's a pretty fair job. It's more than definitely more than Fashion Connect. But yeah, it's like 12.50 an hour, so it's pretty good because you can just keep. It'll tell me when the money's available, and then I just transfer it over into my account. Boom! It's been too easy. If I can't get Chris to, Chris, my husband, he been requesting some requests of monies over there, which will end up breaking me. I still got to pay my bill. I wonder what the date is. I still got like 3 days to pay that electric bill, but damn, if it went up this month, and I'm like, man, I'd rather see if there was be some type of assistance for that, because I'd rather be spending my money elsewhere instead of on that damn electric bill. It's $200. I don't know. Seems like a lot to me. I heard other people have higher electric bills than that. Ours went up like 10%. It's ridiculous. Chris, Brayden, how you doing? I seen that video y'all did where you were going out to the car, Debbie. Um, um, Debbie was taping Chris going out to the car to prove, yes, she's able to get transportation to go see her son. I mean, it shouldn't be any question. But again, they want to just berate you with problems when the only thing that's on your mind is how can I get to my son, and why are you taking him hours away from you to make it so difficult on you. I'm so sorry about that. I mean, goodness gracious. I was just thinking about that with my daughter. Let me see if I can catch up on this. Everybody's here. Do you know about the little boy who died in the car? Yes, I heard about that. But I really didn't look at it too well. Chris, what state was that in? I know that he was in DCF care. I don't even know how you can call it DCF care, because he was under the DCF abuse is what it was. I mean, so disgusting. And like I say, when they're transporting the kids around, um, it's ridiculous. I mean, for my daughter who has delays, I mean, she needs help with her like hygiene and stuff like this, right? So they're bringing her on a 6 hour trip or whatever it is, 6.5 hours. I can't even remember. I keep telling you guys it's about that. And to come see me, yet they're not bringing her any like a change of clothes, nothing to drink. And here she's on her period and doesn't have any pads. I mean, who does that? Who does that? So here's me. I got everything in the car that my kids might need, and the kids aren't even with me. So I had to go out to the car, and I did, like, I had some pads, and then the lady had to go down. She was part of the partnership for destroying families over there, but she was just at the reception desk. She went down to the Dollar General and got Sage a pair of pants and a diaper. Pretty much a diaper. Why did she give her a diaper? She thought she defecated on herself. I'm like, no, she's just on the rag, dude. Like, whoa, you know, jeez Christ, she's a young lady. Jeez criminy. It's just disgusting that the kids got to go through this. Whew. I got some heads up on what my daughter might, be doing. That's yeah, I could, Chris and Debbie and whoever else is in here. I'll talk to you one-on-one on what's going on in regards to that. What's going on with her currently. Well, at least what she was going on a year ago. But any case, it's getting me all excited, that's for sure. I mean, I just don't understand, what the big secret is with these kids, and why can't we, even if they take the kids into, their custody, why is it such a teeth pull to get communication with your own child? I know it was always my daughter when she was at this place in Alachua, Florida. She wasn't allowed to use a phone for phone calls. They didn't want to allow that at that foster placement. Little Chris, he was able to call like once a week or something like that. God forbid. I mean, you think that they'd want to come home and run home and call their family every day, which was what they wanted to do, but they weren't able to do that. And here we're homeschooling the kids and have been successful at doing that with their older siblings, but yet they want to put them into public school and put them into all those dangers where all those sicknesses and all that other crap that's been going on. God forbid that my kids aren't in school anymore to have to deal with what's going on in these schools nowadays. They're wanting to change the kids' gender and everything else. It's just disgusting. And especially when you had, teenagers. Now you guys have littler kids, and I just can't understand that. How this it's going to confuse a little child like that. Anyways, hey Cody, what's up? I'm so glad that you're joining in. Um, and so I wish Danielle could be here, but she's having a really, really bad day. And I just ask for you guys to pray for her. Her birthday's tomorrow, and I don't even know if she'll be able to celebrate it. This is how it's too bad that some certain people in her life are making things so difficult for her, especially when she's got these heart problems. Did anybody hear about that 3-year-old? Okay, so yes. Sorry, getting back through these messages. My heart breaks for them. Yeah, exactly. The worker went to smoke shop and then went to her house and left the little boy in there for 5 hours. The smoke shop. There you go. And just as I say, that I was talking to you guys about this the other day, how they're traveling with my children for long times, periods of time in the car, and they're smoking cigarettes in the car. I'm sorry. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't want someone doing that around my children. And they're worried about me smoking marijuana. That's what they're worried about. Criminy. I mean, is it legal now? So did anybody know that they were starting to do this this thing where you're going to be able to erase your record if you have a conviction, a marijuana conviction, or are they going to let people out of jail? I don't know what there was, but certain states was going to, reverse these charges when people have been, getting these charges in regards to a little bit of marijuana. It's ridiculous. I mean, me and my husband both were charged with marijuana possession back in 2016, and that's why the kids are gone. So you can pretty much say that our kids are gone because of a little bit of marijuana, and it's disgusting. And look at how much that this has helped people. I don't need to tell y'all how much marijuana has helped. Yeah, I'm ready to light a bowl right now because it's just the only thing that gets me motivated. It's the only thing that calms me down. It's the only thing that I have to turn to at this point. And now I have a prescription, so they can't say anything about that, But they're, like I say, everybody knows how horrible that cigarettes are for you. And I'm sorry if whoever is hooked on cigarettes, that's, it's a struggle. And I know my husband has been through that as well. Like when he felt he really didn't start smoking until they took the kids, though. Like, God, it drives you to drink. It drives you to, smoke. It drives you to go insane. Because how do you think you're going to feel when your children are ripped away from you? I mean, you're going to feel like living crap is how you're going to feel. I just found out about the kids for cash in, oh yeah. So loser, you don't even know how to say that, but I did know it was in Pennsylvania. I'm originally from that area, and Biden gave the one judge commutation. Wow, I didn't know that part. So, and I don't know how, but that Kids for Cash, that tape, you ever see that tape where the group of people are talking and the judges are, I mean, they're the attorneys. They're like the attorneys or whoever they are. They're attorneys for um, either the parents or the DCF or whatever they are. And they're talking about exchange. Yeah, we'll call it Kids for Cash. Well, I have a real problem with that because I think that Siobhan Harris, she I seen her name. I don't know if it's the same person with the same name and the same looks, but the Siobhan Harris that was on that tape is the same Siobhan Harris maybe that was head of Department of Children and Families in Florida. I think there's somebody in there different now. But yeah, I can't believe that Biden did that. It's ridiculous. Whoa. No, I was appointment I have. It was an appointment you had? Oh, you were going to appointment. And they're acting like you can't go into an appointment. Am I right? You have every way to go to an appointment. You have family, you have friends. There's Uber. There's Yellow Cab. There's 100 million of ways you can get transportation to get to where you need to go nowadays. It's no problem. Can you read the message for all the parents and the children to know? Okay, the message that you sent me through text. Is it the text one? About. I know you guys have been trying to get some signatures, Florida Mom. Hallelujah is right. Alabama. Okay, so. Oh, okay, that's where it happened in Alabama. That's right. Now it's coming back to me because that's where Chris's attorneys are in Alabama. And we know some other people that have lost their kids over there in Alabama. And we know that the attorneys that are working on Chris's case, they are flooded with DCF cases right now. Yeah, exactly. They got their hands full, I can tell you that. But hopefully things seem to be going pretty well for Chris. I think not that it's well in that prison because it's constant inhumane conditions, but as far as the appeal goes, the attorneys now are working on the response to the answer for that initial brief. So that is the last back and forth before I don't know why that's beeping like that. So, oh geez Louise. Sorry about that. Let me see. I got a message here. Okay, no problem. All right. Well, I'm just wondering. I lost my train of thought because of that. Oh, so Fact Over Lies is somehow paired with me, my channel, maybe. I know when I first start, I add on my channel, which if anybody wants to know, my YouTube channel is just Brenda Cameron, all small letters. My Facebook is Brenda Cameron, straight up. As far as TikTok, I'm kind of learning a little bit more how to communicate with people on there because I wasn't very good at that. Somebody's, replaying my or reposting my videos and stuff like that. And if I haven't said thank you, I'm so sorry about that. But Fact Over Lies, we got anything we want to share as far as what's going on with the kids across the country. I can tell you, it was more interesting that I spoke with my sister today. Like I told you that thing that went on in Lorain, Ohio, where the cops are over there eating pizza, and she's wondering. My sister's wondering because she just happened to go. They were doing a little tour around the east side of Lorain because they hadn't been there in a while, and I guess her neighbor that she went with was from the area, and here they found that little area, the same area where this took place, but this was like just a few days before that. So it's freaking her the freak out because she's like, Brenda, we were just there. And we're like, she says there was a wooded area. And she's like, they were just taking a little walk around there, checking things out. And she says, boy, I want to be out here by myself in the night or something. She's like, this is scary, she's saying to her neighbor. And then this happens. The cops are eating pizza, and then all of a sudden they're ambushed. I think all this is curious. I'm sorry to say. Okay, I'm going to say it's curious every step of the way when law enforcement is being attacked. Okay, at least that's the story. Then the what do you call it? The affiant, the what do you call them? The supposed, perpetrator. They end up dead all the time. I'm sorry, am I not allowed to say the dead word? Because that's what happens. How do we know anything about this person at all? I mean, why are they using deadly force on these people? They obviously must have some type of mental problem. Do you think they might be able to take them down with not deadly force? To me, I mean, there's too much death in the world, people. And I think things aren't going to get any better if you're just, blowing these people way back. I mean, I feel sorry for the officers that were involved. Okay, I feel sorry for them and their family, but something seems strange about this, and I'm just not going to get over it. It's supposed to be illegal. Let me see. They won't allow him, no matter what, who want to break the bond. It's pure evil and trauma they are causing these kids. The fact that they are okay, it makes them evil as fuck. I'm not afraid to say it. I talk like a sailor. I don't give a rat's ass because what do I get to lose? And that's the other thing, that these people, these people of authority, they don't like bad language. I'm sorry, you don't like my language. Nobody's telling you or forcing you to watch my show or anything I post up on the internet. Nobody's forcing anything like that. But all I can say is, fact over lives will tell you the truth. You got these rappers, these gang members, these people that are actually murdering people, that are going in and out of the jail system. Like, oh, what, you did this, you murdered somebody, and you're talking about doing that within your songs, and talking about attacking people of authority in your songs. Yet, oh, you can go as long as you had money to throw back at us. Here you go. But meanwhile, my husband's sitting in prison for a cartoon on a 15-year sentence. That's why I say that Maxwell lady, whatever her first name is, whatever, Marlene Maxwell, whatever, Epstein's girlfriend. I mean, she got 20 years. And you're talking about trafficking children right there. And then she gets a meeting with Department of Justice or somebody within the department. Can I have a meeting with the Department of Justice? I'd like to. I have a plenty to tell you what the hell's going on when a American family that have done so much for this country, whose forefathers fought the duration of the Revolutionary War, and all my kids are sons and daughters of the American Revolution, and you're going to steal my kids? Besides the fact that I had my 3 oldest on the front line during the pandemic with the COVID. And I don't see any rewards coming my way. In fact, I see them abusing my daughter in 2019. And then that's when the COVID started. Because if anything, God's got my back on this one. And I could tell you the truth. All right, sorry, guys. Let me get caught up. Florida mom says, I don't understand why adoption parents should use their negative comments where the child can hear. No one should ever tell a child they will be just like their parents. Well, isn't that something? Because what they were telling my kids is they're telling Sage, who's autistic, she's coming in the business, said, "Oh, Miss Marilyn, who was the caseworker, said Dad is the enemy." So if they're not telling your kids that you're in jail and that's the reason they're cutting the visits, but they'll do everything they can to interfere with those visits too. And take it from experience. I know. Oh, you whispered to the kids in their ear? Sorry. Your visits are gone. Boy. And then of course, they're not taping the visits after they didn't allow Chris to visit the children anymore. I mean, what is that one dude? That was a Florida case. Ted Bundy, whatever, the one that did those horrible things, was killing those gay young men or something. That guy, okay. He was able to, in fact, I think was able to get a lady pregnant and then have his wife and his kid visit him directly in the prison. And they were treating him like royalty over there. The judges allowed him to do his own case. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Ted Bundy. I think it reminds me of that one show, Married with Children, but it's not that. I'm so sorry. Evan, 2 months to the day, and I have not saw my son. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, Chris. So sorry about that. And that's it just doesn't make sense, right? There's nothing you did wrong, Chris. I just wanted to let you know that this is just classic behavior of CPS and the Department of Children and Families that want to interfere with your right to parent your child. Screw Siobhan Harris and her child trafficking ring in Florida. Am I right? Taylor Hatch is a new DCF secretary in Florida. Thank you. I'm gonna. Whoa! I don't even have a pen right here. Yes, I do. I'm gonna write that down because I can't keep up. Like I say, here I go. This was a nice gift I got for my birthday from my neighbor. She knows that I'm always writing and trying to work on these cases and stuff like that, and she says, like, Brenda, I don't know how do you do it. Taylor Hatch, I'm gonna write that down. But I'm like, who else do we get a hold of down there? How about now that Senator Rubio is it was Secretary of State now, okay? And do you realize that that there's definitely something wrong with them placing your American child with a foreign family, like my daughter was put in with the Haitian family that are not even from this country? Yeah, there's problems with that, and that's what apparently Rubio is getting rid of all these Haitians that aren't supposed to be here because they're not illegally here. That's why I need to get a hold of this mother lover. Because my daughter, what if she was just say, let's say she was still, with this lady, or maybe this lady could have been deported already with my daughter, because, you know, there you go. They got my kids all the way over there in Florida. And I tell you, I didn't want to move to Louisiana, but I would have just been constantly in jail. And we thought we were safe in Louisiana, but we weren't. And then they came and extradited my husband all these years later. Hey, Sam. It's been a while since I seen you. And Renee Protzman. Where are you from? I have girls, lesbians, making my kids call them mom as soon as they got placed in there. Are you kidding me? So sorry about that, Renee. Wow, that is too bad. Wow. Taylor Hatch. There's a lot of Hatches over there around Dixie County, too. That's curious. That's why I can't have my son back home. So sorry, Chris. Yeah, I'm praying for you, and I think there's gonna be a day of reckoning, and you're gonna be able to get your son back. I just feel it in my bones. Your son will be back with you, and everything's gonna work out, because this is they're really gonna crack down on this stuff, especially if we all keep pushing forward and not let up on. That's just the only thing I can think of is, like, let's keep on these leaders, no matter what state you are in. Let them know, your child was taken unlawfully. They've interfered with your right to parent your child, and you want something done about it, because this is just sickening. And why do you think this world is this is blowing up, this person being shot? God forbid. Don't they understand? If the children were let go, things would go so much better for this country. I swear to you. I swear to you. If you let my husband out of freaking prison for doing absolutely nothing, things will go better for this country. It's not that I have anything to do with the weather, or I have anything to do with the way people are acting out in violence. We, as a nonprofit agency, worked to inform people of preventative measures from these things happening. And by doing that, they turned around and acted like we were the ones that were the problem. Because why? Because we did it better than they did, because they've been failures. The FBI has failed so many people for so many years. I don't know if it's any different now. I haven't been able to get through to anybody that gives a damn. And I got to the point where I'm afraid to call anybody, because they feel that I'm a type of threat, because I want to tell them, hello, there's crimes against my family. I want you to know about it, and I want something done about it. Who can you contact to straighten this mess out? My kids are adults now, and there's no reason that I shouldn't be able to be in contact with them. There's no reason, no reason at all, except they want to make more money on my children, because my daughter has delays. And like I say, even if your child doesn't have delays, they will say they have delays so they can make more money on them that way. It's true. They said to my kids, I'm dead, and now the adoption parents are interference when the child says they want off probation and is an adult now. But I had the cops call because the adoption parents said the judge made a comment in the court, and my daughter could not make any appointments because she could not drive. And that's what we did the video to prove, that she was transportation provided insurance. I see. I'll just end up like your mom, and I'm alive, and my child wants to come home. I know it. I know they do. I don't imagine there's any child that they have ripped away, okay, that doesn't want to be with their biological parent or parents. So sorry, Chris. Yeah, everybody, we feel so bad for Chris. And Classic Mom, how's it going with your case? Anything exciting happening? Sorry that I can't keep up with everything going on, but I'm always thinking about you guys and just trying to stay afloat over here myself. So I've got a mess of paperwork. I'm pulling out some more things, trying to get them organized. I mean, it's ridiculous that I have so many cases that it all leads back to, the children. So we got the dependency case, but I have a case before the dependency case, which was a case about them destroying my house through this state-run program, and that was the son of a sheriff. I have that one. I have 2016. Then we had the criminal case with the marijuana. They also arrested my husband for contempt of court because he came into the courtroom like he was ordered to do by a little piece of paper that said you better be there or else. And he was there, but they said, oh, you didn't call beforehand and you have a security measure on you, so guess what, we're going to lock you up for 3 days contempt of court. That was Judge Fiegel. And then they tried to get us for they arrested us for eavesdropping, wiretapping, whatever you want to call it. And then so, like I say, within the criminal case, there was several things like that. And then in 2019, all that took place 2016, 2017. By 2019, our rights had been terminated at the beginning of 2018. My son, my middle son, tried to take custody and adopt his younger siblings. He was denied by Jason Katz of the Partnership for Destroying Families. And then, like I said, 2019, I see my daughter being abused in the very placement that Jason Katz put her in. And then they throw me in prison for a 2-year sentence, followed by 3 years probation. And that's what we got going on. Thank you very much. My daughter has done everything. Okay, sorry. Need to catch up. Sorry. On the 18th, she took the appointment to the physician and gave him, and also got her own transportation approved by TFI, and the judge was wrong. Our caseworker bragged about how many kids she could place from the conservative homes in LGBT fosters. Wow. The caseworker tried to give my son a gay male counselor, and she told them off. Thank you for what you guys said. You're welcome, Chris. Everybody's rooting for you, Chris, for sure. This is disgusting because there's children with delays. There's people that have medical conditions, but they can still parent their children. Okay, nobody should be interfering with your right to parent your child. Okay, and that's what's happening all over the freaking world, and it's about time they put some attention on this instead of all this bull crap with everything that's going on. Like I said, they wouldn't have so many problems if they just return our families. Thank you for what you guys said. I miss my son and I want him home to me and my mom too. You know it, Chris. We now close August 26th. Okay, so your DCF case is going to be closed on the 26th. What plans? We still don't know nothing. Chris doesn't know nothing. Free all the children. Exactly. I mean, who can imagine you're living in the United States of America and your child is a prisoner, or your children are prisoners? Is this like a third world country over here? Trump needs to put some attention to what the hell's going on here. I mean, it's really getting me worked up. It really is, guys, because we gotta freaking have some fireworks. I don't know what do we need, some pom poms. We got to get some attention some way. We need a bullhorn. I don't know. We got to go out to Mar-a-Lago or wherever Trump might be and get his attention, because ultimately he's our leader, and seems like he wants to make a difference with all this stuff going on. So let's start with the children, because why should the children have to wait? Children shouldn't have to wait. The children always should be first. Women and children first, right? Am I right? Our case has ended 8 days ago. The minor kids are home. I'm a mom of 7. 4 of my adult kids graduated college at 17 years old, and they tried to say educational neglect. Oh, yeah. And they said, guess what, classic mom? They said I was unteachable, even though I homeschooled all of my children. 3 oldest are medical doctors that graduated top of their class, but I'm unteachable. That's because they couldn't bribe me or manipulate me into lying about my situation in my home life. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lie about it. Free the children, save the children, believe that. Yeah, and that's why I think it takes belief. Just like when you're reading your Bible and praying, Lord, you have to believe. You have to believe God is with you, and God is going to protect your children until they're back in your care, okay? And never give up, and never give up on God either, because God knows the truth, and it seems like He's the only one we can count on nowadays to get things straightened out. So pray, believe it, and just try to do your best to live for the Lord, even in these hard times, because there's been people throughout the history of the Bible that had to go through horrific things. So you can even compare it to Jesus, because this is living torture that we're having to go through, and our children. DCF case closure on my husband and adopting my girls. That's right. Okay, thanks for reminding me. Okay, so Wet Plants' husband is going to be able to adopt the girls, and everything is going to be as right as rain in her case, because the cases will be over and they'll be done. Goodbye. Yeah, don't come back. Like, is a how they used to say at the Beverly Hillbillies, y'all come back now here. Please don't come back. Please, God in heaven, do not come back. You're not welcome. Kids are being held hostage for child trafficking in all 50 states and beyond that, and all over the world. Canada, we had somebody in New Zealand. This all over the world. I got papers to get to the judge, to get the judge in trouble. Yeah, that's the thing. And see, when we had information about the judges that were corrupt in our circuit, in the Third Circuit, and we, God forbid that you bring anything up. We try not to say anything and just try to get our kids back. But then when that's not happening, we're going to call these mother effers out. That this is absolutely child trafficking, child kidnapping, whatever word you want to use. It's not right. It's against the law what they're doing to our families. They said I couldn't parent because my mom was blind and other issues. So what does that have to do with anything? Your mom is blind, right? Okay, so again, Chris has some medical issues as well, but she can clearly she did a good job parenting her son for how many years until a DCF comes into her life. And also that Florida mom was taken away from her mom because her mom was blind, and they're getting them every which way to Sunday over there. All mine homeschooled too. one lawyer, one firefighter, one police officer, one graduate school, and one homemaker. Classic mom is a proud mom. Yeah, man, you should be proud. You did a great job, and everybody's doing a great job with their children. And you're doing a great job sitting back and just letting just don't be silent. That's probably the worst thing you can do is be silent on this, because we're going to be loud and proud. How about that? Now that's not a gay thing, guys. I'm sorry. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you want to be gay, that's great, but don't push it on, push your agenda on kids, children that can't even know the difference. God's kids shouldn't be held hostage. You're telling me. Praying for the Native American ancestors to bring all the children home. Right. And Chris Naylor, I haven't seen him. He's not coming in. He's busy working a lot nowadays, but he's also American, Native American, American Indian, or whatever you want to say. So let's see what else. I was pulling out some paperwork and seeing what we got here. This was another case. So I get out of jail and I say, hey, I noticed in my discoveries that this guy is defaming me and my husband's character, even after the fact that our rights are terminated. They're saying, oh, we had a lewd and lascivious case, and we're sovereign citizens, and all this bull crap he's telling the police officer, which the police officer already has this information because it's a false bulletin that says all this stuff and is making them believe that we're some parents that we're not. We're not parents that are against anything except bad and evil ways. We don't want anything to do with that. Okay, evil and disgusting, abusive people. We don't want anything else. And we'll call you out on it. We're the type of people that call you out if you're doing something wrong. And if that's a problem for you, you better wake up, because there's everybody and their mother's got a camera on their phone nowadays. Okay, when we were doing it, me and Chris were doing it and making family movies, they want to twist that around like, oh, that's something bad. Oh, there's something bad in those videos. In fact, let us in 2016 also, they took all their computers out of the house, making some ridiculous allegations that was some inappropriate stuff on our computers, so they can just dig in and do whatever they want. This is a letter I wrote in 2019. This was, I went to that, what was that? Ben from the Daily Wire. You know that dude. It was great to hear back from you. Out of all the people I reached out to, your team was the only one to respond. We have dedicated many years to recommending ways to end police brutality, how to prevent law enforcement from getting shot, how to reduce mass shootings. After having our children stripped naked and made to shower and violently taken from their home by law enforcement because they don't like Chris's films, claimed our children were traumatized by their parents, neglecting to admit they are the ones that continue to abuse the children and isolate them from family. It's similar to a cult. Telling an autistic child that dad is the enemy, like I told you earlier. See, these things you can't forget. It's in your head, and you can't forget. You can't get it out of your mind. Well, good thing, because I don't want to get my children out of my mind. But I'd rather have wonderful thoughts and of how wonderful it was before CPS came into our life. Asking our young son, why do you think your dad believes police are the enemy? This is what they're asking my son. Can you believe this? I'm sure you know about these intelligence bulletins on Americans, but we have a copy of ours. Now, the recent shooting in Texas, like I said, this was January 2019. Did you hear the police speaking? He said, people are saying police are the enemy. We are coming for you. I'm sick and tired of it. there is that enemy word again. This is not law enforcement. This is organized crime. See, and that's the difference. There's law enforcement, the people that are enforcing the law and serving and protecting, and then you gonna have some bad actors within those law enforcements. There's always going to be something in any profession. You can be a teacher, you can be a lineman for the county. Okay, you could be anything, but there's always going to be some bad apples within your group. Okay, there's always going to be a bully. Say there's to be a bully at work that turns around on somebody's back and makes fun of them or something like that. There's always going to be something like that. Let me see. Our son is now 13. So this is January 2019. My son was 13 and is forced to see a feminist hippie counselor, not a doctor like his brother and sister who manipulates our boy. She believed it would be better for the children to be in foster care and ripped from each other, feeding him shellfish when it's against our religion, giving them immunizations when not needed. Please, Mr. Shapiro, it's Ben Shapiro who was writing. Help us expose this and get our children to their brother. Most likely, Florida DCF will lie again to the children while in captivity. We were in retirement when this happened to us. They keep pulling us back in. Thank you sincerely, Brenda Cameron. Please see the first attack on YouTube. And you guys can see that too. It's Levi Sewell attacks national hero. And it's under, let me see, Rogue Journal Sports Channel. Let me see. All you got to do is Levi Sewell. I'll just spell it to you for you. Levi Sewell is Sewall. Attacks national hero. Type it in on YouTube. You can see the attack on my family because of this false bulletin that has caused so much trauma and destruction of my family. And this my air conditioned vents are in the ceiling in this house. And I'm sitting over here and it drips on me once in a while. I'm drinking Mountain Dew, a summer freeze. I think it was cheaper because it was red, white, and blue for the 4th of July, but it still tastes pretty good. And I learned by going to visit Chris up in prison, because they got the Mountain Dew in the vending machines. That's what you have to have quarters and dollars and stuff when you go there so you can buy some sandwiches and stuff. God forbid they can eat something a little bit better than what they've been getting, which is probably a slice of bread and some rice and beans if you're lucky to get some protein in there. It's disgusting. I can't believe the menu over there with this privately owned facility. Yeah, he's at Bay Correctional Facility, y'all. Let me see. I just want to see on Facebook praying. Okay. Oh, let me see. Florida Mom, let me see what you got going on Facebook here. Maybe I could share it. I don't know. I think I'll have to turn down my thing. Well, I wish Danielle was here. Maybe, I could play a few things for y'all. Let me see. I'm going to look you up. Jen. Let me see what you got going on here. Children are not for sale. You're telling me. She's got a nice little thing going on there on her Facebook. And again, I'm on Facebook as well. I'm starting to learn how to, and I don't mean to ignore anybody on Facebook if you're sharing stuff with me. Like I say, it was new to me a few years ago when I decided to hook up on Facebook and realize then that there were so many other people out there that was saying the same thing about CPS. I swear to God, that's all I did. I got out of prison after talking to all these girls. I said, shoot, I'm going to make myself a Facebook account. And I type in CPS and I find all these cases of parents saying they lost their kids for no apparent reason. Excuse me. Okay, so this is Jennifer Barovi. Gosh darn it. See how it says that bloodline right there? And you go to Jennifer Barovi is JEN1NIFER, Ann, Jennifer Ann Heckert, HECKERT, Barovi. And if you get a hold of me, I'll send you the link, or I have been sending a link around, by the way, Jennifer. But let's click on it and see how easy it is to, what are you're trying to get to 400, look at this. She's trying to get to 400 signatures and she's at 362. So do Jennifer a favor, because you don't even have to throw any money in there or anything like that. You can opt to sign the petition. And what I'll do, Jennifer, is I'll go into my different accounts and I'll sign it on each account. And that way, you'll have some more signatures that way. Let me read what she's got on for what the issue is. My painful journey started when I was mere 16 years old. I had my childhood stolen by the welfare system, sold to Boys Town in Florida. At the birth of my first son, they snatched him from my arms when he was only 3 days old, selling Ryan James Anthony Rennan to strangers and expelling me from the hospital. I was further desolated later when my 4 younger children were taken from me and sold under the same system that criminalized me for a crime I did not commit. This abuse of power is just not a personal tale, but a nationwide issue impacting countless families. Parental rights in all 50 states are being violated through an unconstitutional system that facilitates, I can't say that word very well, illegal adoption, falsifies courts' documents, and allegedly used for not just facilitating human trafficking by government officials, but also the selling of children to dangerous environments, is unethical practice, infringes on human rights, individual rights, children's rights, and victims' rights. It's a system that tells natural families there is no hope, no recourse, and no justice. Given the darkest circumstances, it's not enough to shine a light on these unjust practices. We need changes to legal structures allowing such horrific abuse and authority. We seek a worldwide halt to termination of parental rights, the groundwork for illegal adoption, and allege the child trafficking and child advertising, child laundering, child exploitation. The time to act is now. I mean, who doesn't want to sign this? This is really great, Florida Mom. Geez, I wish I could put my words together as good as you have. I don't know if you're using that ChatGPT, but it's never been something that I could fathom, well alone use. The time to act is now. Let us unite and amend the broken system. Stand with us to restore rights to parents who are unjustly terminated and ensure the safe return of the affected children. Advocate for a system that respects and upholds. I'm sorry, I'm putting that right in front of you. Constitutionally and upholds constitutionality and human rights. Please sign the petition and join us in the fight. Jennifer Barovi, the petition tartar. Great job on that. That is a great job. And like I said, she's only just not many signatures away. You think about it. Was that 40 something? 48 away? I'm not good at math, but something like that. It's not 6. Yeah. Not 42. Who knows? I'm not very good at math. Um, yeah, she got that on Facebook, and a lot of people have stuff on Facebook. I know Jen is also on TikTok. Chris is on TikTok. Debbie's on TikTok. That's a good way to spread the message too, through TikTok, and I've learned that. But God forbid if we could do that without losing our TikTok account. Um, or having people from the Department of Children and Families stalking us on TikTok. So that's what's going on here. You're welcome, Florida Mom. Well, thank you. I mean, man, that's some good wording. I just I'm gonna I'm gonna copy and paste that and everything else. Anything I could do to spread that around. That's a good one. I mean, I wish I could put my words together so wonderfully. So what else I got going on in the kitchen here? In the kitchen. What I got cooking? What's the rock got cooking, right? Oh, and that's something I got going on with Charles Lincoln III. And anybody wants to be part of that, let me know, because he's got he was an attorney, and he's trying to um put it into the court that he was an attorney. He was they took away his right to attorney or whatever, but he was a civil rights constitutional rights attorney. And he's saying in this petition that people should be able to, represent themselves in the court of law. And you shouldn't have to have a license. You shouldn't have to be licensed by the bar, because the bar itself is so corrupt. So this was the remainder of the statement. What is this? Certified mail. Let me see. Okay, so this is something about the illegal search of the home. I might have read that already, so I'm going to pass that up. You guys already know about that anyway. Now, this is something that's dated April 17th of 2019. So, again, this was one of the, in my discoveries from my Dixie County case. I'm sorry, from my Charlotte County case. But I never seen this, because this was after my rights were terminated. But still, you think that they would have provided this to me at all? Order on judicial review permanency hearing. This action came before the court on October 29th of 2018. Danielle, I think this was something you wanted to know. And you let Danielle know I'm getting my shit together. And we're going to be doing lots of digging, because we still can't figure out is why didn't they let my son take my children into his custody if they thought that we couldn't care for them. Which we could, but why not give them a family? My sister wanted them. We have grandmas, we got grandpas, we got uncles, aunts, everybody. They got 3 older brothers and sisters. You think any of them? No, they wanted to keep putting in the petition that there was no relative or friends available to take the children, which was a lie. So the judicial review permanency hearing, pursuant to Chapter 39 Florida state statutes, the following persons were present for court. And none of these list me. Okay, so the attorney for the department was Catherine Rashkind. Okay, that's different than when it started, because it used to be Rachel Chadsey, where she wants to stand up and talk about in the court with the children present, talking about my husband's films that my children have no idea about, where he's saying, and don't get me started. Okay, don't get me started on that. But anyway, she took a quote from my husband's film, where it's clearly a film, And that has to do, it's the same thing that recently happened to a law enforcement, okay, where they're shot in the face, okay. All right. I mean, like, not to say that we didn't, try to help, because you see in the other letter how we had tried to help the situation that's going on with the violence towards law enforcement or towards, public officials. But they want to turn around and say we're the ones that are acting violence towards them. Sorry, it's not true. And like I said, the family care counselor, they say that family care. What do they care about is picking up a paycheck. That's the only thing they're caring about. I can tell you that. Okay, so her name is Marilyn Tillis Paget. The family care counselor supervisor is this dude I keep telling you guys about, Jason Katz, Katz. You might want to look this bastard up and see what kind of child trafficking is he up to now. Attorney for guardian ad litem, Monica Taibel. It's Taibl. Weird name. Esquire. It's all with the Esquire. Did anybody have any thing to say about what does it mean when they're Esquire? Okay, and for the guardian ad litem, you got Najee Johnson. Attorney for the guardian litem is the Monica Taibel, and this Najee Johnson was the one that said, "Oh, kids will be kids." When my daughter's making a penis out of the Play-Doh at a visit after I hadn't seen him for like 4 months. So there you have it. James Josenek, Esquire, appearing for Dana Taylor, and this was the attorney for ad litem for Sage Cameron. And I don't know, adoption case manager is Sonetta Robinson. The court, having heard testimony and argument and having otherwise fully advised on the premises, that finds as follows. The court had jurisdiction as to subject matter and the parties. The children, Sage and Christopher, were not present for this hearing because they were in school. You think it might be a little bit important for them to be at a hearing that has to do with them not being able to see their parents anymore? You think they might want to know what's going on there? And then it goes on to say the court finds that it is the best interest of Sage and Christopher Cameron to proceed with this hearing in their absence, and no party objected. Hello, I'm party to the case, am I not? It doesn't look like it from the top of this thing. Even I don't see my attorney listed on here anywhere. This is just their little thing. They got to get together for their order of judicial review and permanency without anybody's attorneys present. Boy. The court finds that it is okay. Okay, so to move on, number 4, all parties and participants were provided timely notice of these proceedings. The notice was provided to foster care parents of the right to be present. So they're even inviting the foster care parents, but they're still not inviting us or their siblings or any of their relatives. So the right to be present and an opportunity to be heard concerning the matters raised at this hearing. The foster parents were not present for the hearing, but have provided consistent updates to the family care counselor. The minor children have been adjudicated dependent and are permanently committed to the custody of the department for purchase of subsequent adoption. The department shall have placement and care responsibility while the children are under protective supervision in and out of home placement. The court finds that all requirements of set forth in section 39.701 Florida statutes regarding judicial review have been met. So again, that's 39.701. Now, it goes on to say, pursuant to section 39.701, 6012 2B4. The court finds that the Department of Children and Families has made reasonable and adequate efforts to maintain stability of the educational placements of the children. Well, isn't that a load of crap? What else we got going on? Screw the system. Amen. American Bar Association is fraudulent licensed by the states. Adoption Pardon Act is to free all the children in state care. That's what the petition is about. Oh, sorry. Oh, I got the hangnails bothering me. Abolish Chapter 39, termination of parental rights. Let's abolish the court jurisdiction for judicial reviews. That's abusive to the parent and the children. Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so so I quoted the section. The court finds the Department of Children and Families had been reasonable efforts and adequate efforts to maintain the stability of educational placements of the children. Okay. The compliance of the parties with the case plan currently affect as follows. The mother's parental rights have been terminated. The mother appealed and all has one last appeal pending. The father's parental rights have been terminated, and the father appealed, and all appeals were denied. Sage Cambron is 15 years old. She resides in the foster parent in Port Charlotte, Florida. She likes her placement and appears very happy. She is in 9th grade. Is anybody taking notes on this? This is stuff I need to highlight because I'm trying to figure something out here. Okay, so she was successfully discharged from therapy with Dr. Glaza. He was that old man that was a nut. Remember, I talked about him before. Didn't even know Sage was autistic. What kind of doctor is this? Some old senile mofo. She continues to receive speech and occupational therapy. That is bullshit right there. She never received speech therapy as was recommended by her neuropsychologist. She has been sibling visitation bi-weekly for 2 hours. She has sibling visitation bi-weekly for 2 hours. And I also found out during my Charlotte County case that was also bull crap. Okay, bull crap. She continues to receive speech and the sibling visitation, bullcrap, all of it's bullcrap. Sage is current on her medical and dental needs. That also is bull. Okay, and I don't like the idea of my child going to a doctor appointment and I'm not being invited to it because my daughter's very afraid of the dentist. It's always been an issue with her. With the stress and with her post-traumatic stress disorder and everything else going on, obsessive compulsive disorder, you're going to make this kid go to the dentist with some stranger she doesn't even know. She wants her family, and that's what she's made it clear. Christopher Cameron is 12 years old. He continues to reside with his foster parent in Lake City, Florida. His foster parent has decided, just let me move on here. I'm going to talk to you about that later if Fact Over Lies is still here. Chris is happy in his placement, and he is in the 6th grade. So again, like I said, this was January of 2019. Chris continues to attend his bi-weekly with Kelly Ball at the Village Counseling Center. That piece of nut crap, Kelly Ball. I'm sorry if you don't like my language, but I'm so sick and tired of what has been going on with these children and to no avail. Just like I said, the only thing we have to do is just trust in God, guys, because God has put some things in your path, okay? And he'll give you signs. And I really believe that. And sometimes when you're going through your paperwork and all of a sudden something flies on the ground, you're like, oh, what's this? I think that's a sign from God right there. This is what you need to be paying attention to that day. It happens to me quite often. Some things you might put off. Sometimes you have, you're so stressed out about the whole situation that it gets difficult to go through your paperwork. And I know that for a fact, and it's happened to me. Does my hair look pretty good today compared to that other day? Oh my God, I was looking back at one of my videos. I'm like, my hair, jeez Louise. My hair is naturally curly, guys. Well, okay. Okay, so. Okay. He has bi-weekly visitation with his sister for 2 hours and enjoys spending time with his sister. Chris is current on his medical and dental needs. The family care counselor has visited the children regularly and made all necessary referrals and monitored case plan compliance. Yeah, right. And again, this is all bullshit. This is bull. They're not in no compliance for anything. The children have been receiving adequate services to prepare for adulthood and independent living. Oh, wow. They want my kids to be independent, and they're only, what is shit they're saying? They have to have these ages wrong, because they're saying Chris is 12 and Sage is 15. That's not even right, because my kids are only 2 years apart from each other. So if Chris was 12, then Sage would be 14. If Sage was 15, then, the opposite, whatever. He would be 13. At that time, I believe he was 12 and Sage was 14. Chris is happy in his placement. He's in the 6th grade and continues to attend. Okay, I'm sorry, I already read that. The department has made reasonable efforts to finalize the permanency plan of adoption that has been affected in the case that the manager is providing assistance to foster families, making referrals for services and in interventions, maintaining contact with service providers, conducting at least monthly visits with the children, and submitting court paperwork in a timely manner. And I have faintly written on there, what a joke. Because, I just, this is how I guess I handle things a lot of times, is I just, make jokes and stuff like that. Even though it's not a funny situation, I try to keep light of the situation. How far are we in, guys? What time is it? 10. Okay, so it's 10:11 for me, so it's after 11 for you guys. So pretty soon we'll wrap it up, but I just want to continue on because, like I said, this was part of the discoveries that I got in my Charlotte County case, which, like I said, I had no idea until that this even existed. Until, in fact, it's this page that says at the bottom, initial discovery, right there. Boom. Okay. So Mother Brenda Cameron's parental rights have been terminated and blah, blah, blah. They want to repeat that. The department requested that no recommendations from the Judicial Social Study Report be accepted and adopted. No party objected. I don't even know what that means. The department requested that the recommendation from the Judicial Review Social Study Report be accepted and adopted. No party objected. The recommendation of the department, here they are, as follows. The children remain in their current placements. The goal remain adoption. And the case returned for judicial review in April of 2019. The department recommends that the permanency goal remain the same. The guardian ad litem is in agreement. Christopher Cameron is I'm talking about it's little Chris, is of sufficient intelligence and understanding and experience to express a preference as to the permanency goal. The preference of Christopher Cameron is adoption. I asked my son if he knew what adoption was right around the time we were having our TPR hearing, and he said he didn't know what adoption was. You know what I told him it was? It means you're never going to see your mom and dad again, or your brothers and sister. Sisters, by the way. But I didn't know if they, I don't know if they kept my kids apart. I've been told that they were placed together, but you can't trust anything they say. Additional findings of fact. Oh boy, they're talking about facts. So what about this fact over lies? Do you believe this? Thank you. Florida mom says I look beautiful. Thank you. I know. I'm just like, I get that's way. If my hair is having a bad day, I'm having a bad day altogether because I'm like, oh my God. Thank you for that. And you are a beautiful person too, and a beautiful soul. Okay. Since an initial report was written, the mother's appeal has been denied. The department is waiting on the mandate. The department has not received any updates from Louisiana regarding the ICPC home study. The case manager is not as in support of placing the children with their adult sibling. The Guardian at Leiden reported that Christopher appeared fearful when discussing placement with his brother. Oh, that is a load of crap because they love their brother. My son practically raised those kids. When I wasn't rocking them to sleep, he was, okay? Because I could tell you that he was up taking care of those kids when I had to take Sage up to the hospital because she had quite a bit of sicknesses when she was little, and then Christopher was just a little baby, and there my son Hawk was. He was about 2 years old, and he stayed home and watched the baby while we had to take Sage up to the hospital. He was oh geez. Oh, that's my husband now. I just gotta take this call, but I'm gonna have to cut the call because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Because like I say, he's got this appeal going. But what I could do is I'll just cut the mic, and maybe if somebody's back in the background, you can play the music. Sorry about that. Just of course he didn't call me since this morning, so I wanted to take that, make sure everything was okay. I mean, how okay can it be over there in that freaking hellhole? Okay, so let's get back to where we were. Okay, so um the department will obtain a written letter from Miss Ball regarding Christopher's preference and file it with the court upon receipt. It says Christopher has stated in therapy that he does not want to have contact with his brother. Can you believe this? But this is what they're saying, but I'm not hearing this from Christopher. And they didn't get a chance to be at court. They didn't go to the TPR hearing. They're not letting the kids, ever since that Judge Jennifer Johnson left the case, the kids weren't able to be at court and talk to the judge like they wanted to. But they can just put words in the kid's mouth, and then it helps their agenda to keep the children. And no music to close out. I guess we're not closing out. I wonder if I could see if I can send. As soon as I finish this, I'm going to finish this damn thing up, and then I'll finish out this whatever, because this is something I don't think I've gone over. This was one of, like I said, the other thing that was in my discoveries in Charlotte counties was the neuropsychological evaluation of my daughter, and this was what was done in regards to my son Christopher. This was the judicial review is what they're calling it. The department's made an ordinance motion for the department and the Partnership of Strong Families to be relieved from responding to the parents' request for visitation and request for information regarding the children. The DCA, the District Court of Appeals, I think that means, has ruled on both parents' appeals in both cases, and the appeals have been denied. The parents are no longer parties to the case. The guardian ad litem joined the department's motion and asked to be relieved as well. No party objected. Well, I'm a party and I object. Am I right? It is the best interest of the children to remain out of the parents' home at this time. The children are receiving safe and proper care. I'm highlighting this because this is all just junk. The children current placement is the least restrictive, is appropriate, and is a setting that is a family-like, and close to the parents' home as possible. Close to the parents' home. And I told you how far away my daughter was. So it just doesn't make sense that they're talking about closeness to the parents' home when they're saying we have no rights to our children anyway. So what does it matter how close they are at that point? Because they want to make it look right on paper is what they're doing. Home, let me see. It is consistent with the child's best interests and special needs and is designed to maintain stability in the children's educational placement. Continuation of the children and parents' home is contrary to the welfare of the children because the home situation presents a substantial and immediate danger to the children which cannot be mitigated by the provisions of the preventative services at this time. Specified as the Judicial Review Social Study Report filed by the Department of Children and Families for the purpose of this hearing, if the children are out of the home, the Department of Children and Families has made reasonable efforts to prevent removal and eliminate the need for removal of the children from the home and or reunify the children with the parents. Need I say more? However, this is, hopefully I have the microphone on. I'm not. However, there is continued need for out-of-the-home placement to ensure the child's health, safety, and well-being, and reunification with the biological mother and father at this time would be detrimental to the welfare and contrary to the best interests of the children. but they don't give any reasons why that would be detrimental. But the other evaluation from the neuropsychologist said it's detrimental that my daughter be in contact with me for her social, behavioral, and emotional well-being, and that it needed to get to the judge ASAP. And I've read that evaluation to y'all before. And number 17, diligent efforts were made by the DCF to locate an adult relative or a non-relative caregiver willing to care for the children in order to present placement option. This court, and previous to this, they're saying that the adult relative, they did have adult relative. They had my son. They had my sister. But now they're saying that there are known relative or non-relative caregivers for whom the children can be placed at this time. And we all know that's a bunch of crap. So sibling placement visitation. The siblings are currently separated, and the department had continued to make reasonable efforts to reunite the separated siblings. However, there are currently no family members or foster placements available to take both the children. What about me? What about the old mom and dad? What about that? Well, why do you think we're sitting here fighting for our children all these years later? Because we love our children and we want to do everything we can for them. That everything in our life evolved around our children. The department has continued to make reasonable efforts to reunite the separated siblings. However, there are no currently the siblings continue to enjoy bi-weekly 2-hour visits with each other. That was bullshit. Therefore, based on the findings, it is hereby ordered the minor children shall remain in protective supervision and shall remain adjudicated dependent. The minor children shall remain permanently committed to the custody of the department for purposes of subsequent adoption. The department shall have placement and care or responsibility while children are under protective supervision out of the home placement. The primacy goal shall remain adoption. In addition to orders, the department shall file a Christopher Cameron's therapy update and shall obtain a file letter from Chris's therapist stating the preference of regarding contact between his brother and the child. After consultation with his parents, does not wish to have contact with his brother, the department shall draft a proposed order to submit it to court. Under a separate order, the court shall be granted the department Ornis Tennis motion relieved from responding to the parents' request for visitation and information regarding the children. All priors are not consistent with this order and shall be remain in force and effect. The court shall retain jurisdiction as to the children and to enter in such further orders and may not deem necessary for the best interest of the welfare of the children. This case shall not return for judicial permanency hearing until March 2019, date to be determined by Honorable Judge Bill Blue. The party shall be noticed once the date has been determined. Done in order. But it's funny that my son that was approved and certified for placement in Louisiana through ICPC, he wasn't informed of this or anybody else. This is just a little letter that they kept to themselves. And I suppose it was an accident that it got into my discoveries over in the Charlotte County case. Because the initial case for the children was... yeah, I've definitely got to show this one to Danielle. She'd be interested in that. To expand and force visitation. Oh boy, that was the other thing. So, like I said, I'm going through it and straightening out some of this mess. And let me message someone to wrap up my show. And let me see. You needed a smile. Oh my goodness. My plants. She sent me a picture of this plant. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that something? Wow. She got the super duper plants over there. All right, let me see. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to wrap it up. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we need a little music to close it out. And hopefully we haven't gone too far over the time. I don't know. There's really no limit when I get on here. I just blah blah blah. I could go on for hours. Anyways. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming in, and y'all have a nice evening. Hopefully we can have a little show for Danielle tomorrow on her birthday. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks for joining.
But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too, but Brenda stood tall like the sky.